What is up? Good day, my fine people. Welcome back to my channel. As always, it's been a minute. Glad to see you once again. Welcome to the outdoors. Back home in good old Minnesota for a hot minute, more like a cold minute because it's cold here. Just some climate-based humor for you all. It's actually really not that cold up here, which is why I'm sitting outside. Today on my channel, we are gonna play a little game I like to call Drink If You Are No Longer a Collegiate Athlete. You know what? Retirement hurts, but it's so worth it. Celsius, just go ahead and sponsor me. You might as well. I have gathered us all here today. Let's go ahead and tell you all I am not competing in outdoors this year due to injury. My career is donezo, but you know what? I have had some time to kind of chill and reflect on it. It doesn't have to be a sad thing. It's the end of, a 6-year era. It's just the beginning of so much more. So we're not going to cry and be sad about it because trust me, I've already done plenty of that. We're just celebrating this new chapter in our running career. And so it's going to be really exciting. But yeah, I know I never finished my indoor SoCon vlog, so that's what I'm here to do today. Because I won't be providing you with what I thought would be some super exciting outdoor track content, I am going to give you the second half of my SoCon indoor experience with a little twist, which is why it took me so long to get part 2 out. I had this whole thing already made and edited, ready to upload when all this developed, and it was decided I would no longer be competing in outdoor. Then I was like, you know what? We've got to make this special. The second half of what I didn't know at the time would be my last collegiate track and field race. We're going to revisit the roots of this channel, something I haven't done in a little while. We're just going to go ahead and commentate this race. It's the 5K at the Indoor SoCon Championships. My amazing teammates were there and kind enough to film the whole thing for me. Shout outs to you guys. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch the whole thing together. We're gonna commentate it. It's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna narrate the whole thing for you guys. We're just gonna experience this all together. So without further ado, let's get going. I'm gonna have my Celsius by my side this whole time for some energy. And you know what? This is gonna be a really long video. So whatever doesn't fit in this first part, I will just make it to a part 3. Because why not? Okay, here we go. SoCon Indoor 5K. Heat number 1. And there goes the gun. My teammates are there screaming their faces off for me, as always. Love you guys. And we are off. So prior to this race, the night before, a little backstory. I had just run the mile leg of the DMR, and it didn't go so well. And then I got back to the hotel. Later that night, I had eaten something, and I don't think it sat very well with me because I was up late that night. And I had this overwhelming feeling that I was gonna yak my guts out. And I had no idea why, but I was convinced. So I will spare you the details, but yeah, that wasn't a fun experience at all. So I was coming into this one feeling a little bit flat, I gotta be honest. I was really excited. I was really ready to go. This was my event. I was like, yeah, my focus is gonna be on the 5K because this is more my wheelhouse. That DMR, that mile leg is just not, it was not my thing. As I said in the last video, super fun. I was stoked to be a part of it, especially at conference. But I was like, man, the mile's like a sprint, and I don't have the wheels for that these days. So 5K, it was going to be where I made my mark, except, yeah, I was coming into this like, bro, I feel so terrible, but we're just gonna go for it.
I don't know where you got that either.
Oh, so here we go. I don't even know what lap we're on right now. But yeah, so coming into this, I was functioning on very little sleep. But then this morning, the morning of this race, I did my 10-minute shakeout and things got moving in my system and settled my stomach. Usually a 10-minute shakeout is enough to kind of offset that feeling. So that was good. And then I got some coffee in my system, and we were ready to go. But yeah, I was very cautious about what I put in my body before this race too, but honestly, you don't always have like complete agency of that when you're on the road, you know? So I was nervous about my sandwich that day, man, but it stayed down. And then, yeah, I was feeling fine. So we're probably coming around, lap, I think like 3 at this point. I really should be keeping track right now because I can't see the lap counter. But let me see if I can tell you where we're at.
Text her, ask her if she want to hang out. She left us on red.
Okay, so it looks like we are through 800. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But we're like just under 3 minutes. And okay, yeah. So I actually do remember this now. So we got out a little bit slow, I remember, because my coach was yelling at me, my splits, and she was right there on that other end of the track. And so, yeah, there I made my move to the front because we were going like 6 flat pace. Really, my goal going into this thing was I just wanted to go out at like 5:40 and just see how long I could chill there, because that's kind of where I'd been settling lately, especially in practice. Finding that 5:40-ish zone pretty attainable. But yeah, I wasn't sure I could hold it for a 5K, so I was like, we're just gonna go for it, see how long we can hold on. And I had taken the lead at that point because we were going too slow. I didn't really want to dictate the pace, but I had to early on. And because, yeah, my coach was also saying, we got to get moving. And I was like, I agree, but there's a woodpecker above me. But yeah, I didn't really want to do the work for the whole race. So yeah, I waited a little bit to make my move, but it's still pretty early on in the race too. So we are just coming through, is this 1200 or...
Let's go, Maret!
I really should be keeping track of laps. But yeah, I'm still in the lead. And yeah, I'm just really trying to keep that 5:40 pace. If I remember correctly, I felt pretty okay. Especially for this first mile. I think I really started to feel it like after that first mile. But yeah, the first mile felt good. I came through in 5:40. I remember that, and I was like, dang, I just gotta hold on. So we'll see if I do. This race obviously was not recent, so some of you probably know what ends up happening. But for those of you who are just joining me on this channel, you will find out right alongside with me.
Keep it up.
Okay, so I'm still just holding the lead, and yeah, we're just chugging along. Everyone's yelling at me. I love it. I would always look forward to coming through that stretch where all my teammates are standing to film this, because they were noisy and they were keeping me in it. Because you know what? I don't think they played music during this. Do you guys hear any music? No. I ran one other 5K on a 200-meter track during this season, and they played some jams during that thing. And it really helps me to keep engaged. But when it's just you breathing that whole time, it's 25 laps and can get kind of long. So yeah, I really enjoyed all the cheering. So we are going to come through. I really wish I had come into this more prepared so I could take splits, because I do not remember. But I think you will be able to hear some commentary throughout this. So that is good. All right, so we are still holding steady in the lead. That Eastern Tennessee girl behind me, she kept me in it for as long as I was. Without her just being right on me, I would have perished very early on. So cheers. Okay, so now we in the front are going to start lapping some people. And that's always, I thought, because I don't know where we are in the race right now, to be honest. So I was like, wow, it's kind of early. And oh, there goes one of our jumpers in the center. He's getting the crowd riled up. And here I'm going to come back around. My coach is going to yell at me again. I don't know what my split was. But yeah, I think at this point I was starting to feel kind of flat just because I was having to do the work. You know, it's one thing to take that lead and be courageous, but you have to hold that move because you don't want to look like an idiot and fall off once you do take the lead. So I was like, this is getting old because I'm up here dictating the pace. He missed the jump, but that's okay. Sometimes in life we can't win them all. And so yeah, we're just gonna be chilling here for a while, me and this ETSU girl. And I think just every lap I'm gonna start feeling it more and more, because when you are doing the work, man, it's not easy. It is not easy. Oh wow, this is really good practice for my future career in sports broadcasting, where I have to watch. Oh, that was a good jump. Did you see that one? I should have been watching the jumpers on the infield to stay entertained during this. But yeah, I don't know how like Carrie Goucher does it. She's a good commentator for longer races, and I feel like I always have to have something interesting to say. But yeah, at this point of the race, it really was not that interesting. I was trying not to die and not to lose the lead, not to look like a fool. So we are just gonna continue on. It's been the same for quite a lot of laps now. The good news is you can see me all the way across the track because I do have my super shoes on. I did not wear super shoes for the DMR, which you might have seen. I wore spikes. And the interesting thing about this track was it wasn't a super squishy like rubber track. It was kind of harder. So super shoes actually felt really good, whereas spikes didn't feel so good. Super shoes were a lot bouncier. So that's my 2 cents on that. Fun fact about my pink Vaporflies, I bought those at a 40% discount, by the way. Now this sounds like an ad read. I bought those when I worked at Heartbreak Hill in Chicago, and that was 2019. Fun fact, I hadn't raced in them until, well, I wore them for a road race in summer of 22, but my first like real in-season races weren't until this past indoor season in the pink Vaporflies. So they were seeing a lot of action this season, which was good. They still have a lot of miles left in them, I think. So, okay, so right there, I don't know if you saw Eastern Tennessee girl, her coach said something to her. And what she said had me freaked, or what he said had me freaked to her. So he had told her as we came along for that lap, on the next one, he told her to take the lead. And so I was just hanging on to my lead at this point, knowing she was still right on my tail. And I knew that when we were going to come around for this lap that we're about to embark on, she was going to go for the lead. And dude, I was freaked because I knew if she made a move, I didn't think I had enough to counter it. So let's just see what happens, because she's going to take it.